Look, the UK is a failed state. British cutlery company releases square-tipped knives that can't stab people. Viners says it repeatedly tested the product to ensure the tip does not pierce the skin. Britain is 3,000 years ahead of the West. Look at this catastrophe. What's going on in the UK, man? That's racist. Why is the black guy the villain? That's racist. Why is the black guy getting shot? That's racist. Why is it only black people killing each other? That's racist. There's no black people in this movie. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, yeah. John Boyega says Star Wars is so white that a black person existing in it's a big deal. Huh? Toxic fans are okay with us playing a friend, but we can't touch their heroes. Oh. John, you're a shit. Liberals have officially gone retard. Reddit's Nazi investigators are some of the dumbest people alive. Hegseth's 88HH tattoo. Oh, fuck off, man. Bruv, go away, man. Go away and get a life. This is ridiculous. UK is totally cooked, bro. Charge people for rape and violent crimes as well as the, rising number in kids stabbing each other. No. Charge people for social media posts and memes. Yeah, they'll do that. You hear about that guy that got arrested? I think I got it right here.
Well, we were showing the Benny Hill British Police Force.
Hilarious.
But the truth is, of course, stranger than the comedy.
Unbelievable.
This weekend, we've had the UK police arresting
not only is it,
James and Rita.
Look, this is delayed. I don't know why it's going really slow for me. I'm sorry about that. But it's unbelievable how Orwellian it's becoming. I swear. You can only laugh, but it's scary. Honestly, it's like what the fuck are they up to?
A dad for comments that he made about his 9-year-old girl's school teachers on a WhatsApp.
Unbelievable.
Yes, this couple were
on
held
a
in a cell for 11 hours, arrested in front of their crying children. So you can just imagine how traumatized those poor kids are.
Look how many officers.
And James,
look how many officers are there.
Investigation.
Why is there that many officers? What did the guy do? It can't be that bad if they're arresting a grown man with a daughter over a WhatsApp group. What happened? Why is there so many police there?
There's no case to answer. We don't know what they posted in that WhatsApp group that alerted the police and had so many of them show up to their home to arrest them. Well, if you think there's free speech in the UK,
look how many people there are.
Yourself at this point.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah, mate, I swear free speech now in the UK is becoming a myth. It's like, what? Why? This is what they're busy with.
This is the thing. I mean, look at the footage you see there on the screen. The police sent six officers to go and arrest a middle-aged couple for comments that they made in a WhatsApp group. Now, we don't know what the comments were, so, but there's no indication that they were anything sort of threatening or anything like that. The best indication that we've gotten from news reports is that they were complaining about the recruitment teacher for a new teacher at their school. We also know that the couple, that their eldest daughter at the school does have some epilepsy and neurodivergence issues, and they were not allowed to meet with the school to talk about these medical issues. So it sounds like these parents had a real grievance. But the fascinating thing here, fascinating but also chilling thing, is the way the UK has now become this sort of place where it's a real dystopia. The cops knock on your door.
Orwellian. It's becoming very fucking Orwellian, draconian fucking place. I'm telling you, the thought police will be knocking soon. What the fuck? Nah. A reform will come.
Saying the wrong thing online. And
unbelievable.
For the country that supposedly gave us free speech,
it needs a political revolution.
Which gave us all of these
desperately needs a political revolution.
Great defenses of liberty, to now be in this place where they charge you with a non-crime, hate crime or whatever, and the process is punishment. I think it's a disgrace.
Well, also, James, you
completely
say that we
disgrace.
don't know what the crime is, what they said on that WhatsApp
Who
group.
knows?
But nor does the guy who's being charged.
Correct.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
police wouldn't even tell him what he'd actually said that
Yeah.
was wrong.
but it
I
was
mean, that's
something
terrifying. It was
that
racial,
someone-
but what does racial mean?
No,
He
no.
could have made any
We don't know
comment.
that.
Don't say it's racial, because I
That's
can
what they
guarantee
said,
you,
yeah.
if it was racial, given what the UK's current hate speech laws are, there would be charges.
yes.
The fact is there are no charges. So
Yeah.
whatever it is, it doesn't
Definitely
even
not
have to
right.
be the wrong thing.
They probably ain't even got nothing. Probably ain't got nothing on the game. Why? What could it be?
We have seen people in the UK being harassed by the cops, having to go through this process for just stating biological facts about gender, about immigration. If you're stating a very much a mainstream view about the levels of immigration, and perhaps you've got a problem with illegal immigration, that could see the cops knocking on your door if someone takes offence and makes a formal complaint.
And that's what I mean by racial, because in their eyes, any comment about immigration, any comment to do with people coming over the border is deemed as racial. But James, there is a racial component to what is happening with the British law. We now have a two-tier legal system, James,
Oh, yes.
whereby white men will be treated harsher now under British law, James.
Well, yeah, it's really
Two-tier
shocking, this.
care.
Basically
This is
now
it.
they
This
have put in the
is this.
system-
I made a video. This is what I made a video on 2-tier care a while ago. This shit, man. This shit has to stop.
whereby
That has to stop.
pre-sentencing reports, which basically automatically take into account your race, your gender, your circumstance,
What the fuck's
all
that
of that
about?
to mitigate the sentences that you might get for whatever crime you're alleged to have committed and been brought before the courts and convicted of. That now means essentially that white Britons are going to get the worst treatment when it comes to sentencing. This is the two-tier justice system. This is why they call Keir Starmer two-tier Keir. And I'll tell you
But
something,
even
guys,
he's
but
trying
the
to
other
stop
point...
it.
Even
Keir Starmer recognises
How bad
what
this
a
is. Let's have a
catastrophe this
listen.
is.
Yeah.
Disappointed in this response, and the Lord Chancellor is obviously continuing to engage on this, and we're considering our response. And you know, all options are on
How
the table.
fucking
but I am
ridiculous, isn't it?
disappointed, at this outcome.
Oh, he's
And now we'll have
disappointed.
to consider what we do as a result.
Oh, out of
So people, I mean, I think maybe someone has to get punished on the police force or in the WhatsApp group that made a false allegation. What's going on here? What's this? What's this
If only
bullshit?
there was a Prime Minister who cared about the issue, could do something. You're the Prime Minister, Keir. I mean, he's acting like he's just some dude off the street who's a little bit aggrieved.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? No, I'm
but
disappointed.
But
It's true.
James, the reality is what they have literally done is brought in laws whereby if you are any of those identity politics groups, women, gays, of ethnic whatever origin,
Yeah.
anything other than a white man must be treated more leniently. So by definition, white men will
What
be
is this
treated
bullshit,
harsher
bro?
under the British
It's going backwards. It's going backwards. Like it's so dumb to me.
legal system.
And we'll just be really frank about what we're talking about here. We're talking about, basically people of color, people of different religions getting a lighter sentence and a lighter treatment. And so this means, a lot of migrants who might commit crime, they're going to get a lighter treatment than somebody who was a Briton committing sin.
Yeah, mate. I mean, that's not sending a good message. That is not sending a good message at all. That's going to create a division. Maybe this is what they want, a great division.
Crime. That's shocking. Keir Starmer, I don't trust
Divide
anything
and
he has said
conquer.
there about claiming that he's distressed about that because, this is the same guy who
Yeah.
saw his opinion numbers absolutely plummet and then
Cook.
started talking about, oh, maybe we have to do something about immigration. Really, Keir?
Yeah.
Really? Okay,
Good
fine.
morning.
Now you tell us. But the thing, too, the other week, there was that phenomenal speech that J.D. Vance gave
Yes.
at the European Union where he called out Britain, and he called out Europe, but he called out Britain in particular and said that Britain, which was a bastion of liberty, has no longer become that, and they are straying very far away from that. And the real point is that if America is going to go and defend liberal democracies, and you want to be defended, you've got to act like a liberal democracy. And Britain
100%,
has
yeah.
strayed so far from the centuries. It took centuries for Britain to develop the traditions of law and liberty that we enjoy as well. And now they're torching them at a rate of knots.
And
Yeah, like,
this
what are they up
undermines
to?
the most basic
Stupid.
principle of our justice system. That justice is blind, that everyone's equal under the law, that you're not going to
Exactly.
get preferential treatment based on who you
Defies
are.
the purpose,
And
doesn't it?
we already see it happening, even before
Bastards.
this formal recognition that it's happening. We have seen it over and over again with people getting ridiculously lenient sentences and then having people in the UK locked up for being in an anti-immigration protest, even if they weren't guilty of anything that was approaching violence, but they were at a violent protest, so they were guilty by association. Same thing doesn't
How
happen
dumb
with
is
these
that?
pro-Palestinian protests.
That's
a
right.
very different
How
approach.
dumb
so
is that?
we have seen it over and over again, and we're not immune from it. It's happening right
Well,
here
I
as
was going to say, we are not immune from it, and where Britain goes, we tend to go, James, a few years later.
Yeah, because you're still part of it. You're still part of that massive empire. You think you've escaped. No, the British flag is still buried in the corner. Still there.
So we
Still
already
there.
have in place hate speech laws
UK flag is
and
there.
these sorts of touchy-feely, no crime actually being committed laws are coming into Australia exactly as they did in Britain. We are heading down the same path, which is what we'll be talking to Billboard Chris about, the e-safety commissioner, because we're heading straight down the same path.
Yeah, that's something we don't need. That's something we can do without. Thank you. But I think I'm all right. I'd rather not have that anymore.